Hey everybody, it's Chase with AV Pop Culture again, and today we are here to do a deep dive 4K review into Hammer Films' second release as a boutique label, the 4K of the sci-fi film Four-Sided Triangle. So pop that tape in, I got you, let's go do this. All right, so Four-Sided Triangle. This movie, listen, I was totally sold on Hammer with this whole line they're putting out, jumping into like sort of their own restorations, their own boutique label, putting out limited editions. When they dropped out Captain Kronos, man, that was a deluxe set of all deluxe sets. Now, it was like $65. It's like a 6-disc set with all kinds of 4K cuts. Hammer is doing their 4K restorations themselves. They're packaging all this of all their movies. This one was a little bit less. This one was like $48, I want to say. And I ordered it from Orbit DVD. And they had, it's a full-size, like, chunky box set here. It's not as big. It's not a big 6-disc set. It's a 2-disc set. But this movie I had tangentially heard of. I had never seen. And the reason I say I had tangentially really heard of it was because there was, I believe it was a Tales from the Dark Side episode that loosely took a title and very little else really from this film. I think it was Tobe Hooper that directed it. I can't remember who, so it was a big horror name, but it was like a segment that really took a different direction than this film. We're going to talk about the film for just a second, and we're going to get into the 4K. The movie very much gives me like Frankenstein vibes. It really does. As a matter of fact, I think it was first available as a special feature on the Blu-ray release of the Frankenstein movie. I was trying to see if I had written it down right over here. It was available. I believe it was available on as an extra feature on the Curse of Frankenstein Blu-ray. But it definitely gives you those sort of mad scientist vibes. Now, this was kind of a controversial movie, believe it or not, because as the story goes, you have these two friends who are actually there's three friends. There's two guys and one girl, and they've known each other since they're like 10 or 11 years old or earlier. And they've always had this triangle. They both love the same girl. They grow up, they become inventors, scientists, and she ends up working with them. And she really has one of them is totally friend zoned for her. And the other one she's kind of in love with. And that causes a problem because both guys are in love with her. And they end up creating this machine that can completely duplicate anything. Anything, like right down to the T, like the least small detail. And they make a point to point this out because the first time we see it duplicate something, it shows that even the imperfections, it's this pocket watch. And they show that the imperfections were even duplicated, where the chain is just slightly bent in one spot. So they make sure to show you and let you know that it is duplicated 100%, is the exact same thing, just a replication. So you're going to get this whole science lab. You've got all the little lightning and everything. Now, the film is in black and white, and it is presented in Dolby Vision, and we'll get to more of that in a minute because the 4K is great, but the movie is really good, and it gets surprisingly twisted. So the film almost has like a Twilight Zone vibe to it too. I'm a huge Twilight Zone fan. I picked up Twilight Zone vibes big time. Because, if you ever watched Twilight Zone, first of all, they were black and white, but you had Rod Serling, and he would introduce and narrate the films, and you get that in this. So this is from 1953, so they're not like it's that far apart from one another from Twilight Zone going on. The narration in this is kind of odd because it breaks the fourth wall, but it is told by someone who is in the story. But there are times that you're not sure. It's a little clunky because you're not sure, as he's telling you, the audience, the story of what happened in his village with these three people. You're not sure if they are actually seeing him in the flashbacks, or he's just sort of interjecting. You're seeing him because he's interjecting himself into the story. Because at one point I thought, is this guy like a guardian angel? So it's a little clunky in that, because there's times where he's there and they don't interact with him at all, and it's like they don't see him. And then other times they definitely interact with him. So it's weird how they interject the narrator in and out of it like that. Yeah, because at first I was like, is he a guardian angel? And he's only seen when he's asked to be seen, because he keeps talking about how he wasn't asked to be there this time. He wasn't asked to be there, but you could see him. So it's a little that I'm still slightly confused on that, but you get the Rod Serling vibes as he's narrating everything that happened. And they grow up, they have this replicating machine, and they're a success, and they start to get money. And so finally the girl, played by Barbara Payton, and you see this cool back art here, and she's beautiful. She ends up marrying the one guy she's in love with, and the other guy is heartbroken, just like he was when he was a little boy and he didn't get her. So he convinces her to let him replicate her. And he does, and it works. But the problem is they forgot that it replicates things completely. And they're like, oh, well, we knew that. Even the narrator's like, well, we knew that was going to happen. But the replicant, who is now with the other guy because he created her, she is unhappy to the point of trying to end things for herself, let's just say, because she's so unhappy. And it is because she is replicated completely. She's an exact copy. So not only are her looks and her thoughts and all of that stuff completely replicated, so are her feelings. So she is kind of being forced to be with this other guy, because the original version of her is happily with the first guy, but she's in love with him too, because she is exactly that same girl over again, that same woman over again. So she is profoundly unhappy. This leads to, a calamitous ending to the movie. And I'm not going to spoil it, because this is actually an interesting ride. I even caught myself, and hopefully I've been showing some clips as I'm talking. I never know what all I can show. But I caught myself, like, when I was recording my screen, and you guys know, standard disclaimer, it's just 4K reference footage. I use my 4K camera to record my 4K OLED, and it's just for reference. It's going to look different. It's going to look better. But I caught myself, like, recording too long because I was just watching it again. And it really does. It's like it's a cross between Twilight Zone and Frankenstein for me. So I am 100% in. This was a blind buy for me, and I not sure when you guys are going to see this. Might be before or after my favorite blind buys video that I've been working on. Had I watched this first, it would have probably made that list, because this is really good. It's a high recommend. In some ways, I liked it better than Captain Kronos, because I'm such a huge Rod Serling Twilight Zone fan and Frankenstein. I kind of moved my camera over here today and got a different background to make sure you guys could see Frankenstein, because it gave me those vibes. And I really dig this. Now, the film is in black and white. So from a movie standpoint, high recommend. But from a 4K standpoint, it's got the high dynamic range of Dolby Vision, all that kind of stuff. It's in black and white. It's standard full screen, so you don't get any widescreen of this. It is a really good 4K. You can tell there were some pieces that were not in, that they couldn't save. Like, I'll try to show them if I can find them on here, if I was able to get them. Like, there's fine line, there's scratches in there. I'm sure there was nothing that could be done about that. If they could, they would fix it. You can't always just fix everything because you want to. But then the one thing I noticed, and I will try to show this, this is nothing that anybody can really fix without maybe AI. So when you used to cut film, you literally cut it. I mean, you might use the machine to cut it, like a little slicing machine. But you would cut it, and then it would be basically mated, like taped, for lack of a better word, back together. And that's how you made your cuts between scenes, between shots. You literally cut film and then stuck it back together. Well, where you stick it back together might have been a little bit of a break in the film and some translucent material that stuck it together, right? So imagine, to try, just for a visual, imagine taking, cutting a camera negative that you have in your house, like an old film camera negative, cutting it in half and then taking Scotch tape and putting it back together. No matter how much you try to get those all the way back together, there's still a infinitesimally small break where that cut is, and you've got the Scotch tape around it. Well, now imagine that you put that into a scanning machine that is putting this into 4K. It's going to find that little micro cut, and it's going to find that little translucent material. So like when they do certain cuts, particularly cross dissolves, because now you have to overlay the film. So when they do that, you can actually, because the 4K visual quality is so good, you can see it. You can see it will lose its grain. So it will actually lose the grain, and for just a minute, it will look almost like a completely like I don't want to say DNR'd, because I don't want to give you the wrong idea. They didn't DNR this, but it'll almost look like a completely smooth digital image that is slightly out of focus. And if I can get this where you can really see it, I'll put it on here. And it's just where it goes from shot to shot, where this 4K, the resolution is increased so much with that old style, you can just see it in certain spots, usually with cross dissolves and sometimes with the cuts. That's nothing that they did wrong. That's just simply, you are bringing, I used to use the analogy all the time, sometimes with a 4K, it's like if you have a problem in your footage, it's the equivalent of driving in the fog. You keep your low beams on, because if you keep your low beams on, it really lights the path in front of you and cuts the fog. It keeps your eyes focused on the small area that it really can light up and cut through the fog. And your natural tendency would be to turn the lights on bright so that you can see more. But what happens is when you turn the lights on bright, in this case, up the resolution to 4K, up that resolution so high, you see more fog. You see more of the problems. So it's just in split seconds, and it's nothing that they did wrong, right? It actually shows what kind of good work they were doing restoring this. Did it pick that up? But if you see that, that's why it's there. So I just wanted to kind of get that, because I don't want people saying, this is not a good 4K, it's doing this shit, it's doing that, it's doing this. That's not the case. It is a really good 4K. Now, it's not, just by standard of, it's not widescreen, it doesn't have the colors that can leap off at you and all that kind of stuff of Captain Kronos Vampire Hunter. It can't hold to that standard just by of what it is, right? But man, this is a damn good 4K. You're going to see some good grain. Black and white pops with like Dolby Vision and stuff like that. It really does. When they have the science experiments and the lightning, and then there's a big fire scene at the end. Fire in black and white and 4K is super cool. It just gives you all those like old Frankenstein, old Twilight Zone vibes, and I friggin' dig it. It's a high recommend. It's a cool box set here. The artwork I like a lot. You get some extras in here. You get the original copies of the original publicity aids, is what they call them. So that is super cool. You got some information in here on everything. An exclusive British film. So it tells you the players, tells you who's all in it. all that kind of stuff. You get a separate booklet here on the four-sided triangle. I just love the classic look of all this stuff. And it is, I love all these posters and everything. This looks really good, but it was controversial because you're doubling up. This woman is with two different guys. She's thinking about dealing with her life in her own manner. I can't say what she's doing. So and then it's almost like she's sleeping with a guy that she doesn't really love, and she loves the other guy, but there's two of them. I mean, this was kind of risque in a lot of ways. I really super dig this. You get this two-sided poster. Check that out. That is old school, baby. I love it. It's interesting to me that this is all in color, and the version of the film we have is not in color here. But I like it. Man, I would be hard-pressed. I wish we got both posters, because I'd be hard-pressed to pick which side that I was going to put out here. But I really dig it. Now, this set's $48.99 through Orbit. That's not all you get. You get those, you get the poster, and then you get a full booklet. And I mean a full booklet here. All kinds of information on everybody in the film, the making of the film. So it is, I started reading it. Inevitable parallels to Frankenstein and stuff, and other movies, other sci-fi tales. I mean, this is a nice bunch of reading material here. In the Japanese version, we added more blood. So, look, you got the Wolfman there, the Hammer Wolfman. So you even have like script, like parts of the original script in here. I don't know if this is the whole thing or not. I doubt it. It might be. I'm guessing it is all 100 pages of the script. And check it out. They made a copy of it. And I guess the copy had a coffee stain on it, or they added that in post. But that is super cool. So you get the whole script in here. That is just super cool. Someone who's a writer, a filmmaker myself, I absolutely love that. And of course, the other reason that it was, taboo is the same reason Frankenstein was, is, God made man, and, man shouldn't be making men or women themselves. So this is super cool. This is a pretty deluxe set for $48.99. Y'all, Hammer is knocking it out of the park with their early releases here. I can only hope that they get some of the rights back, some of the rights. I don't know what their rights situation is, but I can only hope that they get some of these back to where we get their big movies, like Christopher Lee Dracula, all that kind of stuff. I would love to see them do those movies themselves, their own movies, and give them these big box set editions, because they have been so awesome. They've announced the next one is Shatter, which is more of kind of like an action type film. It's partnered with Shaw Brothers, I believe. So that's coming next. But Four-Sided Triangle is a high recommend. Hammer killing it with their first two releases. And that's what I got for you today. Just wanted to take a look at it. It is a recommend for me from the 4K standpoint, but you got to understand those things that I mentioned going in. And from a story standpoint, if you like Twilight Zone, if you like Frankenstein, you are going to love this movie. I really enjoyed it, and I hope you've enjoyed this too. If you have, please like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel. If you want to help support what I'm doing here, you can join below. You can join at my YouTube channel, but I would recommend, if you want to, join at my Patreon link. I can do a lot more there. I'm discovering I'm able to add so much more there. But no matter where you join and help support the channel, you're going to get your name and lights on every single video, behind the scenes looks at my filmmaking, special members only videos, and so much more, and it really helps out the channel. But until next time, be kind, rewind like always. This is Chase with AV Pop Culture, and I'll see you real soon. Bye-bye. I know.